Welcome back to the Smite Pro League. We're taking a look at Europe today. Finch here. I got Graham with me on the desk. We don't get to see me and Graham on the desk that often, so I imagine it'll be a pretty good pairing as we go into Rival up against Mouse.
Should be an interesting one.
Were you shaking your head?
Yeah, because it's Rival versus Mouse.
Oh, thank God. Okay. Yeah, Rival versus Rival versus
It's like
Mouse.
top versus bottom. We just saw Energy versus Mouse. Now we get to see Rival versus Mouse.
Mouse looked good. They took him to 50 minutes in game one, Graham.
Yeah, they did.
50 minutes in game one. We'll see if they can make that happen here for them in game two.
No, we want to win, not just go 50 minutes and lose.
Well, yeah, we want them to win. We want them to be close. We want them to be competitive with them the whole game long, Graham.
Exactly.
And that's exactly what I think this team can do in particular. We just saw it from Mouse. I mean, they'll play really whatever it is they feel like it seems like, in these games. In particular, Dardez, some kind of aversion to traditional supports, and maybe it works for him. He'll play Warriors. He'll play anything else aside from playing a traditional support.
Sure, and I think that's one of the reasons the fans at home have voted for the camera. Obviously, we
That's
get to
right,
see
yeah.
the other cameras, and we're going to get to see Dardez on the camera for this one. The thing about Dardez here, though, honestly, when you look at it, is that, yeah, he's the first support that's actually been picked to have his viewpoint put forward because he plays unconventional supports. They want to see his playstyle. He's very aggressive.
Yeah, we may have seen like a Jeff Hinla, but I mean, they're going to vote for Jeff because it's Jeff, right? Jeff and Barra. But with Dardez, they want a chance to see a bit of a unique matchup here in this, or a unique strategy, and what exactly he's doing, where he's going on the map to make, or try and make rather, these warrior supports work, or whatever it is that he plays. So we are ready actually to go into picks and bans here between Rival and Mouse. Let's see what they pick.
Let's go. This is going to be a big one for me. I just want to see Mouse do a normal comp. Just give me a normal comp. Let's go, just like every other team. Like every other team. How about, putting a support in a support role and a mid in the mid lane, Just give it a go, just once. And then you'll be like, this ain't so bad. No wonder other people do this too.
I guess it wouldn't be as if, what are they losing, right?
I mean, they're already losing games as it is with what they're doing now, so
right, yeah.
It would be better.
Choosing to ban away some top priority picks, though, is Mouse, the Soul, and Daji. Off the board, don't want to deal with those. Giannis Achilles taken away for Rival, and Nua is going to be the selection for Mouse. And with Mouse, who knows? That could be anywhere.
Game 2 of the energy set, it was BigManTingz. Game 1, it was Jermain. Flexibility is definitely the option, and it also comes down to what Rival are going to draft for their jungle. Nemesis available? I don't be surprised to see a Nemesis here. There you go.
There it is, going to go along with the Thoth pick for Team Rival. So they're not just going to have the mid pressure from Thoth, but also in the jungle. A lot of pressure can come out from Nemesis to blow up these carries quickly.
Sobek is going to go to Nika. I do not see Dardez playing that. If he does, I'll be very surprised and excited about it. And I think the next pick more than likely could be a jungler here just to make sure they take it away before the Caravan phase. Serqet, definitely an option, and there you go.
If it was Taco or Toli, I'd be going, wow, good job. I love your knowledge and how well you're able to predict these pick bans. But I'm thinking you might talk to somebody, Graham.
No, I don't. Honestly, I don't. I could do most of these blind for the most part. I've seen enough pick and ban faces, like, okay, so it's probably this here. So obviously we've got the Thoth Nuwa. It means both Hunters are available. If Mouse start banning away Hunters, that Nuwa could be in the Hunter role instead, leaving their mid lane up to be the Agni again if they want that. Depends how they want to play it. I
mean, you might be focusing on these Hunters, but I'm just worried about Deathwalker getting to play Chulainn. I mean, that's just a scary proposition if you're not wearing purple and Mouse are not.
And notice that Nika's going for defensive gods in the lane already. Like the Sobek draft, you're never going to see a Dardez on that. I don't think they're going to pick it that priority.
Sure.
It's always going to be, let's get Nika something comfortable to make sure Deathwalker is kept in check is the key.
And that's what they're going to do. Try and not just keep him in check, but give something where they can try and at least stay close with him for Nika and not let that pick get too far ahead as the Kamazots and the Uller are both banned away.
As Hunters, that's why they're both banned away there, because the Kamazots has been running the Hunter role a couple of times. Wouldn't be surprised to see Vote go to it, but then again, you do leave Artemis on.
I got to think that Rival have got just about everything they've wanted so far here in this draft.
Oh, we're doing the Ravana support.
Doesn't it look good? I mean, Thoth, Nemesis, Chulainn, Artemis, it looks great as Ravana is the selection for Mouse, and very likely that could be in the support form, yeah. We've seen them played already.
We've seen the Serqet version as well, so it will be Nuwa in the duo lane, Ra in the mid up against it. Interesting comp again from Mouse. Mage heavy, slightly mage heavy, I'd say, but then Serqet and Ravana do bring enough from the physical side.
I mean, this just feels like exactly what Rival would have wanted in every spot. Maybe if they could have got Daji, they'd have preferred that over the Nemesis. But, I mean, that Rival squad's scary to me, Graham.
Outside one for the Mouse squad, though, is maybe Serqet support could be a thing.
Sure.
Like, that can make an impact. True damage is still true damage after all. can cause a couple of problems. But do you really want to run a Serqet into an Ares in the duo lane? I'm not so sure.
But they do have a lot of gods to try and throw you into the path of that raw ultimate. I mean, the Sobek flip can pull you back in, so can Serqet with the last breath, and even just a root from Ravana can set it up. As long as they're on point with these raw snipes, I mean, they've certainly got a chance here with this comp.
Yeah, we saw Rival earlier today, we saw Mouse earlier today. My money's on Rival. With the comp that they've drafted here, very similar to Game 1 that we saw today. And Mouse with a very similar comp to Game 1 of their energy set, so...
Well, that's going to do it. We're thinking Rival here on the desk. Let's go ahead and get over to Tom and Tolly so the casters can take it away.
Thanks a lot, guys. Looking at this one, Tolly, I think Mouse has a lot to learn from their previous set. Obviously, things didn't go their way. Against Rival, another tough opponent.
Going through some growing pains, honestly. I believe that every single set that they come out and learn a little bit extra from for the next one. And I think going into this one against Rival, they should be in a better edge. They went through their bumps and bruises with energy. Now it's time to learn from that and get the W here against Rival.
I believe so as well. Let us know in Mixer Chat who's going to take this one, whether you're a Mouse fan or a Rival fan or somewhere in the middle. We want to hear you. Jermain is going to be playing on that Chronos this time around, understanding that it's all about the late game in the Hunter role. And looking over votes bringing out as well, the Artemis, not a surprise.
Not a surprise at all. We saw how aggressive he was earlier on today up against SK Gaming. It was just the Blink Madness play. But this time around, level 1, he's going for the Aegis. A little bit worried about Dardez playing the Serqet support.
Right, Serqet support, another very interesting take here on the support position. Let it be known that a more traditional support player was one of the first players to bring this one out. I think the first time we saw Serqet support on the big stage was Wlfy, actually.
I could see that. Was that season 3?
No, it was very recent, season 4. Serqet does very well in that support position because she doesn't need to build power in order to get her damage off, and she still has all the control.
It's very true. Sometimes we would even see Serqet be very tanky in the jungle position depending on how you opt to build her. Having that true damage from Last Breath is the key to her success. Not only that, just the sheer amount of bonus damage that you get from her basic attack once you pop all those poison debuffs.
Collison vote trying to trick us into thinking we're paused.
Minions have spawned.
I actually thought we were for a second.
They're just showing off. They're posing for the camera.
Vote just hanging out there. Directly against them is Jermain. And the crowd is directly against Jermain. 5% of Mixer thinks that Mousesports is going to be able to take home the win here. Team Rival, certainly the crowd favorite.
Not surprising, honestly, with the drafting composition. We saw the janky comps from Mouse not work against NRG, so the crowd doesn't expect it to work here against Rival.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is just people looking at the standings. Rival has been performing very, very well. Mousesports, on the other hand, not quite the same.
Good accuracy from Callus with the level 1 chains, but it's only level 1 chains, so not doing that much damage. Connecting 2 onto Jermain, 1 onto Dardez. Once those chains get to level 2, things gonna get a little dicey for the duo of Mouse.
Yeah, Mouse has to watch out for the damage from Callus. Ares has been a great pick. We've seen him be built very aggressive as well as of late, and I like that look, Tolly. I think if you're going to pick Ares up these days, you got to really embrace the fact that he's there to deal damage.
Wow.
Oh, DW did not want to take that tower shot.
No, definitely not. That's the one tricky thing about certain dashes. They're so big and clunky between the Chulainn dash and the Hercules dash, putting you further than you probably anticipated.
And putting vote lower than he probably anticipated. Stuck in the trap, though. Dardez in trouble. Jermain trying to land the basics.
Oh, no. Jermain's in trouble now.
Oh, he missed the one. Oh, he couldn't land the time rift. And so it's a double kill.
For the late game Artemis.
Oh, that's rough.
Oh.
That was just a mechanical misstep from Jermain. If Jermain lands the time rift, the first ability, vote dies there.
That's
and
true.
Obviously you can't get a double kill while you're dead.
That's right. It's a 5-second cooldown, so he has plenty of timing to go for the second one, even if he misses the first one. But being that low against an aggressive support such as Callus, you're asking for a world of pain there. And surprisingly enough, in the duo lane, there are so many times where you can look back at it and be like, man, if I only had a multi-potion here instead of the mana pot, maybe I find the kill here.
Very true. I mean, looking at that lane, that was rough, and I want to reiterate the fact that Mouse actually played that nigh flawlessly, at least strategically. Jermain jumps on one target. Dardez jumps on the other to make sure that they can't do a double team on top of the Chronos. All of the abilities used by Dardez were great. It's just the fact that Jermain missed that ability.
Also, the one mistake that Mousesports did is they are not saving their CC for disrupting the chains out of Callus between the Cobra's Kiss and the time stop. They used it trying to kill Vote, and once the Aegis came out from the second tick of the time stop, it was just easy pickings for Callus. He's like, oh, all right, now it's my time to shine. And luckily for him, he allowed Vote to get the last hit because it's a little difficult to control all that damage over time between not only your chains, but also the flames.
Exactly. A ton of nonsense coming out of Ares there. Nice invade from Team Rival. Deathwalker and iceicebaby look toward the enemy blue buff, so Nika won't have that available, but as soon as he hits level 5, it shouldn't be too much of a concern for Sobek.
A good look thus far for Team Rival's Vote. A late game character getting this kind of a start. I always talk about junglers that get a good start. You're looking at your Mercury's, Thanatoses, Kali's of the world. But in terms of the hunter position, you're looking at either Artemis or Xbalanque to get this kind of a great start. And I think Rival, not playing this aggressive Blink Artemis, a little safer Aegis, can definitely set him up for a great spot. Actually opted to go for the tier 1 Devo gloves, but with that gold bounty that he got from the 2 kills, trying to finish off boots for the mobility first. I think he wants to be really agile, trying to cut the distance against Jermain's Chronos and lock him down.
Also, the opposite, want to run away from Dardez. Ton of mobility on the Serqet support. Going to be able to catch up to you and taunt you. But if you can run away before the players answer that setup,
fair, but knowing or seeing the build rather from Dardez between the Blink and the Talaria boots, you're not getting out of him anytime soon, especially if Vote playing the Artemis doesn't have any sort of distance gap closing abilities or relics, so gonna be tricky. The support Dardez needs to start popping off once he gets level 5 just now.
Yeah, we'll see how this one works. And as far as the really off-kilter supports are concerned, the Serqet support has been relatively successful. Wlfy gonna get taunted on and then dashed on. The chains
cripple
will come out a little bit too late.
He can't use the ambush because of the cripple from Callus. He wanted to last breath Wlfy so badly there, but Wlfy didn't panic. He saved his Aegis there as he did not get hit by the last breath.
Right side, Deathwalker again looking for the invade, but this time Cherryo here to answer. However, nice defense coming out from Nika. So he'll be able to stay here and save his blue buff.
Got the blue buff, but took a lot of damage in return. Not only himself, but Cherryo has to back. This could allow the jungle solo combination from Rival to push this wave first and look to just out-rotate them simply and maybe even get some tower poke.
Yeah, they're definitely going to get at least the minions, but that's a ton of minions. There's a lot of archers there.
They could have definitely got a lot of damage on that tower with both of them, especially with a transformation coming out of Chulainn, getting that extra physical power. He just starts swinging like a semi.
Yep.
But minions are still going to do the job for him.
Absolutely.
Half health tower.
Half health already. Wow, I didn't even notice that. I just figured it was going to, kind of nibble at that tower, but really taking bites out.
You would think so without the brute, but those archers definitely doing their job.
iceicebaby going to look on the right side, but Cherryo able to go ahead and pick up those right side harpies. Cherryo on the Ravana jungle. Very odd look for Cherryo. Very standard look for junglers, however.
Very standard look for Dardez. Playing the Ravana, but instead playing the Serqet. Trying to make plays happen here. Trying to catch out one iceicebaby. Going to double dash away. No fear. Out of the Nemesis jungle.
I like that. We didn't see the ultimate come out from Dardez. Making sure to save that, knowing that it's not going to be a kill. I like that discipline there.
Well,
really
the thing is, against Nemesis that doesn't have purification beads, if you can throw her straight into the clutches of BigManTingz' Nuwa with the Clay Golem Shining Metal, I think the double full rotation of abilities between a Serqet, even a support Serqet, and a Nuwa, even this early game Nuwa only a level 8, should have been enough to kill this Nemesis.
I'm not sure. She's got the shield available and the dash to get away. And like you said, Dardez's damage I'm not concerned about, but I am concerned about the early game Nuwa. I mean, she just doesn't have any power outside of the boots.
That's true, but keep in mind, once you apply the last breath, you're not going to get healed. So the Nemesis shield will absorb some damage, but you're not going to get that heal return. So still could easily melt through him, especially potentially finding the last hit with the fire shards. But not going to pull the trigger. Still having the ultimates for another timing as the support on the other side makes his presence known in middle.
2-zip so far. Early game for Team Rival, who absolutely does have the lead. And as we look towards the latter stages of the game, the question is all about Mousesports. They're the ones that are going to have to respond to Team Rival. They're the ones that have to really find these wins. And so my question, or perhaps my ask, is I need a lot from Cherryo and Nika. The right side of this map has not been noisy for Mousesports, when historically Cherryo has been a fantastic player to watch.
It's very true, but I like their draft way better in this game than I did in the second game that they had against Energy, where they were lacking a little bit of control. They definitely made up for it here in this draft. With Nika playing the Sobek, having the plucks, the tail whips, the slow, and the lurking in the water, Cherryo can root people down. Even Dardez playing the Serqet has enough control to really make the impact for the late game mages out of BigManTingz and Jermain.
And so when we watch Jermain, I'm much happier with Jermain on this mage. You and I were talking on the desk, and you said something very intelligent about how the double mage was good for Mouse because it's just harder to itemize against it. But then we also both agreed that, sure, but let Jermain be Jermain.
Yes.
This is the compromise.
That's true. You could still be very aggressive with the Chronos here, going for the Warlock staff just for that extra health, allowing him more timing to be aggressive and then the rewind.
Oh, he's going to get aggressed on here. Blink in, looking for the chains. Still underneath the towers. Kala's going to take a couple of pokes. Jermain very low. Can't really fight against this. Oh, one more will do it. Can't find the in-hand. Jermain barely sneaking out of that one.
Oh my goodness. He was staring at death himself, but Vote can't find it still. Will force it back from Jermain. Nobody's going to cover the lane, so this might be a couple of minions lost on their tower. No, actually cancels his back, and Vote could look for the 3 over the wall with Callus right here.
Oh, yeah, well, no, Dardez is going to show up. Got to be careful. And Dardez is very intelligent. He doesn't go for that play. He just throws a taunt out there and says, don't be here. But he's not going to go too aggressive because he knows that Jermain can't help reliably.
And especially with Callus right beside the Artemis, that double damage between the dual lane of Rival is just too high currently. And Jermain playing the Chronos comes online a little bit later. And that's why physical hunters are just so good against mages this early game. Your base damage on your basic attacks is slightly higher, but once Jermain gets some items, I'm expecting this to change, especially once he starts leveling up that accelerate for the additional attack speed.
Yeah, Chronos is a fantastic character. I still love this god after, you know, even after he's been changed significantly. I think he just brings a ton of damage and also structure damage, which is something that you usually lose by replacing your hunter with a mage. So going these mage hunters, if you will, the souls and the Chronoses of the world, certainly a good look.
Wlfy charging a final judgment, trying to find somebody in the right. Is actually going to be onto Cherryo, forced the Mystic Rush over the tier 1 mid, barely escaping his life.
So Mousesports going to wiggle out of that one. Still, just 2 kills for Team Rival, but they get, you know, their unofficial kills there. But the question is, what do they do with it?
BigManTingz really panicked there using his ultimate. He was fearful that Deathwalker was about to use that knock-up ult.
Not going to be the case here, though. So BigManTingz pops the ultimate. Will live to see another day. I love this player damage meter right now.
Callus just making things happen. Normally, it is the soul laners that are bullying each other that gets the top of the player damage. And right beneath even Deathwalker is Dardez on the support circuit. Both of the supports, top of the charts.
Gold Fury, 25, 10, 5, 0. Team Rival. They just kind of take that one away. Self-checkout.
Mouse just kind of slipping there, honestly, with Cherryo having to back very early in the fight and no ultimate for BigManTingz. There was no satellite vision to identify where the location was from Rival. They sneak one away. The vision is all Rival. Look at that mini-map vision, all red pings.
Yeah, all of those little, they look like just, oh man.
Little red ants.
Yeah, fire ants. I was going to say pimples.
Ew.
Cherryo right now trying to pop Wlfy, going to be chased out there on the back end. And Wlfy delivering the damage back. Cherryo cut down to about 1/3. can't handle it.
Team Rival definitely has a lot of damage, but the question is, if they don't connect some of their damaging abilities, where is their setup? Callus has the ultimate, yes, with the blink. Could be beats away quite easily. Deathwalker, if he wants to follow up, he would need to get a blink of his own, but if he gets blinked, then he's not going to have thorns, and that could potentially allow Jermain a lot of freedom in the late game. And then you got Thoth single target long-range stun. Other than that, it's like not the best kind of control you would really want out of Rival.
Yeah, I mean, you've got the Artemis traps, right? What it comes down to, Tully, is that I just think, frankly, that Team Rival believes that they're good enough to play without the setup.
Yeah, I'm not saying that their comp is bad, but I'm saying it takes high execution to make it work. And Rival definitely up there with the best of them, sitting tied, I believe, with Energy currently in the standings. And if they win this one, they'll be a little bit higher.
And referenced it a lot when talking about drafting, right? I say that you got to know yourself when you select these characters. Are you good at it or not? And that's what Team Rival did here with their draft in a macro strategy, not a micro sense. Just identifying the fact that, like, look, guys, Wlfy's going to hit his stuff. I'm not concerned. Vote's going to hit his stuff. I'm not concerned. So we get to go aggressive. iceicebaby and Colossus selections, you gain a lot by going Nemesis and Ares by way of damage and protection shred, but you lose hard CC. And Team Rival are saying, we don't care. Wlfy's going to hit his stuff.
Something we didn't mention, though, from Mousesports is their double physical, triple magical composition. That's why Runic Shield is being picked up very early from Deathwalker, trying to mitigate some of that magical damage sources, because he's predicting some of these team fights are going to happen sooner rather than later.
We've seen this a number of times whenever players go head-to-head against the Guardians as in the lane. There's 50 magical power on that, right? Sobek has 40 power from boots, I think it is.
Yes.
And
45, I think, from the pen boots.
Right. So he's got about 0 power now because of the Runic Shield.
That's true. But the thing that also matters is that he's more importantly impacting those magical hunters in the back line to make sure that they're not doing their stuff, because Deathwalker doesn't want to sit next to the Sobek in the late game team fights. He wants to sit next to BigManTingz and Jermain.
Well, Nika's been slowed down, but he'll just waddle away. No big deal for the big gator. No problemo.
He's trying to cook them sausages.
Absolutely. Got to build up that passive, baby.
That's right.
It's one of the better passives. It's a lot
Achilles.
Okay. Yeah. Achilles can just change. I don't know. My favorite passive, I don't know about my favorite, but Tier's passive is huge.
Very underrated.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
People don't realize how impactful never being CC'd for longer than a second is, and DR from that point is really important.
And if you just get 20% crowd control reduction, that 1 second becomes 0.8 instead.
Dardez was the target, but the delivery will not be at the right door. Missed chain coming out from Collis. But the Pyromancer being aggressed on by the team. And here comes the ensuing team fight. Push out was Nika. Top end, Wlfy in trouble. Dardez on the pull. There's the taunt. He ultimates and gets him down, but Vote takes away Dardez after.
The pull coming from Callus, connecting onto Nika with the knock-up. Vote's going to get a double for himself. Still in the back line. iceicebaby keeping BigManTingz busy a little bit. Callus waiting for those chains, and he connects one.
Oh, the chain ensures the death. Vote again. 5-0-0.
He got 3 in that encounter. He's 100% kill participation and 100% kills of himself.
Every single kill on the Scotsman today, and every single assist on Collis.
That's true.
Collis has been, I'm not even going to say low-key, high-key, one of the best supports in Europe. And everybody's looking at Emilzy right now because of the support trade. Everybody had eyes on Emilzy and Raffer, wondering, oh, what team's going to wind up Collis is the support that I've been looking at. This guy has played the offensive, the defensive, consistently setting up his team for the victory. And look at this, going the Gem of Isolation as his team takes down the Gold Fury. Going to continue pushing the control.
When I look at Emilzy and Calus, I think that Emilzy has more finesse with some of his ideas and what he brings to the table, whereas Calus is more of a brute, and he's just going to manhandle you no matter what he plays.
Yeah, Calus, that's exactly what I get. Sort of like the giant golem that figures things out. But actually, if you guys know him, more of a gentle giant. Calus is always having a good time, always laughing. Not always the case with these pro players. A lot of these guys, you know, not to say that Calus doesn't take it seriously, but his love of the game, I think, shows in his gameplay the way Aurora's and Dibios's do.
It's not just Calus, honestly. It's him and the rest of his teammates. They have so much synergy for so long together. That's why they never made that switch up from Season 3 to Season 4, despite being the bottom 2 seeded European team. Like, it was not pretty for them when they were formerly known as Cyclone GG, but the confidence for them to stick together, they have a lot of fun together still to this day, and it just goes to show on the battleground that they have the synergy. It's just very difficult to build it, so when you have it, don't let it go.
Yeah, exactly. It's so important. It's so important for you don't got to be best friends with your teammates, but your team has to really function together. Team Rival feels like a family. I mean, even us in commentary, we make a point to go out and get some drinks or eat some dinner together, because those casual conversations lend themselves to an easier time communicating in these dangerous games. If you're able to sort of hang out, play other video games, or just have a laugh with your friends, it's that much easier to communicate the rotations and all the nonsense that is the cacophony of a team fight.
Oh, the little nuances become no longer nuances whatsoever. Rival feeling very confident after they secure themselves the second Gold Fury of the game, and a Pyromancer to boot, that they're going to start grouping up to start sieging towers already at the tier 1 mid.
Yeah,
19 minutes in.
Just walking here. I mean, there's no reason that Mousesports should really defend, but I love their location and positioning here, totally. This is the waiting for a mistake play right here. Mouse aren't going to bite the bait. They're not going to go all in. But if Rival do send a player too deep or overextend, full collapse because of the 2 players in the jungle.
With the transformation from Deathwalker as they knock down the tier 2 tower. On the door, rather, Dardez needs to figure out a good angle to come in, but it's Deathwalker initiating first.
Oh, and he's going to get hit by the ultimate. A couple of shots from the tower as well. Deathwalker likely going to live here, but the tier 2 will not. iceicebaby fights into Nika, taking down the solo later. Team Rival on a tear, up about 8,000 gold.
Cherryo needs to disengage here, has the speed buff. Luckily for him, Calus missed his Ares chain, so will not get slowed from that ability. It was a 1-for-0, but with 2 towers down in the mid lane, an additional 2,000 gold in the pocket from Rival.
Man, Calus with the Gem of Isolation provides so much control. That slow on those chains, we saw this from Aurora on Splice earlier in the week, and the idea, again, identify what your pick does. Ares does a lot of damage, and he gives up some of the hard crowd control to bring that damage. So Gem of Isolation, it's not the perfect item for Ares, but it just fits so well in because it gives him some of the control that he lost, and also it's 90 power.
So if you think about it in a different perspective, a Gem of Isolation Ares, if he just drops his flames at you, it's almost like a Ghastly Breath from Cerberus.
Very, very true.
The only difference is it's not shredding your protections.
Sure.
But it's doing way more damage because it's % health.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I kind of want to see that battle. It's like flames versus the Ghastly Breath.
What's fun also is Team Rival just brute force to subject the Fire Giant, is that Calus is also, there's health on that Gem of Isolation, which is also going to help that out. So again, a lot of good reason to go this item, and it's something that we kind of just have seen come out recently from these Ares players.
It's very true. The utility style is very lost in the mindset from a lot of Smite players these days, going for more carry potential in the solo lane specifically. It's important to know your strengths and weaknesses for not only yourself, but what your team requires of you. And a lot of teams kind of shifted away from the utility style and going for more just straight up tankiness, getting in and out of the action for as long as possible.
What also, again, the item just makes so much sense because of everything that we mentioned, and also the fact that Ares can kind of play a little fast and loose with tanky items because of bolster defenses.
That's very true, giving himself and his teammates the crowd control reduction, more protections to tank these towers and phoenixes, making Rival's life a lot easier.
Jermain waving to the guys on Rival, and after this siege, Jermain just gets smoked.
Yep.
Not even going to bother using the ultimate. I do like that call. Left side, Team Rival barking down the towers. Mousesports were split pushing. They'll have to return to base here, but I don't think Left Phoenix is the call to defend.
It definitely does not feel that way here with Jermain dead for 45 seconds. Callus off the mark there with the one chain, but Deathwalker wants to keep zoning.
And Blinken coming out from Robin Jungle. Cherryo trying to do the damage, but Wlfy is taking a lot of damage, chasing BigManTingz all the way to the fountain. Wlfy takes care of Nika on the top end, while Deathwalker zones literally in the enemy base.
A last breath ticking away while you get thrown into the fountain and you live. Yikes, if you're on the side of Mousesports. If you can't kill Deathwalker, then when are you gonna kill him?
Deathwalker literally in their base killing their dudes. Just bad stuff for Team Rival.
Forcing the Aegis out of BigManTingz, the ultimate, just like can't even peel for himself.
Yeah, Jermain here going to play a little bit of D, but not quite, just spawning now. 23.5 on the clock. Team Rival have 8 of the 9 kills in the entire contest, and all 8 of them have included Team Rival's duo lane. A perfect 8 in the assist column for Callus, and 5, 0, and 3 for Vote NBK.
Getting to that late game potential at the 24-minute mark, probably sitting on a lot of gold in hand. If he wants to back now, wouldn't be a bad time to do it, but there's a split push coming out of Jermain in the mid, which opens the door for the right side Phoenix for Rival.
I just want to see Rival. Yeah, exactly. I just want to see Rival push down this final Phoenix. Jermain does back to base. Will come to play defense. Team Rival look like they see the Chronos and want to retreat.
They need to wait a long time. Look at where that wave is on the right side.
Oh,
it's going to be all the way there. Needs to be about 20 more seconds for it to reach the Phoenix for Mousesports. This is the last remaining Phoenix, this solo lane side. Fire Giants still around their waist for 45 seconds. Rival looking to go for the final push.
And exactly, just that's the only reason we're waiting here is for the minions to come. And, well, Team Rival lose their patience. Walking forward. Cherryo chased down by iceicebaby. The second kill for the jungler. And BigManTingz trying to play defense with Nika and Jermain. Right, Phoenix, it goes down. Team Rival, 10 kills, looking for the game. Jermain underneath the tower. iceicebaby avoids the pluck by way of beads. Titan under attack here. Jermain taken out before the ultimate, and that should be the game.
11-1, make that 12-1. A full dozen from Rival, looking so dominant here in the first game. Will lose Deathwalker, but you know what? Crazier things have happened.
12-2. This was, I mean, you said dominant, I think was your choice of words. Yeah, just clean and clear for Team Rival.
And with this kind of a victory, you got to think what's going on with the mindset here currently for Mousesports. How do they make these adjustments? Because they lost to energy, and I thought going into this fresh set that they would make the changes to kind of look for the victory, but Rival just can't seem to be stopped.
Yeah, Rival really, really clean. This team has always been the team. They were the first team, I think, to really identify the fact that there's a meta and then there's what we're good at. And that allowed them to be successful. Other teams following in their footsteps as well. MVP, let us know who you think was the best player there, Mixer Chat, please and thank you. But for now, we will bid you adieu. We'll say hello to the desk.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Toli. Rival was able to take game 1 here, and I've got Graham here with me.
Yep,
again,
that's me.
Kind of looked like Rival just got to play whatever it is that they wanted. I mean, Callus on the Ares, Deathwalker playing Chulainn, Vote on Artemis. They got their favorite gods, and then they played them like they were some of their favorite gods.
Well, John, you saw exactly what I was talking about, though, is that they could have run the Serqet in the support role. They did run the Serqet in the support role.
They did, that's right, yeah.
Problem is that it was against an Ares, and the Ares and the Artemis combined to pick up 2 very quick kills in the early game with the chains combo, just locking them down. After that, if you notice, Callus was involved in every single kill. He had
was.
100% kill participation. And Vote was only 1 kill off. 1 kill off being full 100% participation as well.
Well, it looks like chat picked up on that exact thing. Kalis is the one that's going to be your
Good
MVP.
job, chat.
And it's not often that chat's ready to give that over to the support, but I think this time it was well-earned. Kalis, I mean, we saw him almost get a solo kill once there on the hunt. I mean, he's crazy on this Ares, man.
Aggressive supports will always be voted up in terms of the eyes because flashy plays, you know?
Sure.
The defensive ones of keeping your team alive don't get noticed as much, but when you're on the front line, burning people down and sending people back to a terrible watery grave, you're going to have a bad time. So you got to...
No, Ares uses fire. He doesn't use water.
It is true. He does use fire.
Yeah, he sends him to a flaming, burning grave, I suppose, or a chainy one. But either way, he looked great on this.
Water, because fountain water.
But the water heals you. The water's good.
And that's why they're in the fountain.
Yeah, but you may sound bad, like a watery grave.
Yeah.
Isn't that someone's ult? Isn't that Kuzenbell's ult? Who's watery grave? Isn't that someone's ult?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is Kuzenbell? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I said. You can say you're right, Finch. Go ahead, tell chat.
I just said, yeah, that's the
Say
same thing.
you're right, Finch.
Can we move on? Like,
Fine. I don't need it anyway. That's just fine. Deathwalker, though, continued to look excellent for them on that Chulainn pick, Graham.
Yeah.
I mean, it really felt like to me that that they got what they wanted. They got ahead with it early, and they never gave that lead back. That's what top teams like Rival does. When they're up against a team that they're supposed to beat, they do it cleanly, and Rival did it.
yeah, it was a very clean first game from them. I want to see exactly what happens in game 2, though. Is going to be the real telling point here. Serqet in the support role, I kind of saw the idea behind it. I could already see it coming. Obviously, we had the Warlock team, which kind of gave away the new while I was in mid, but it was like Chronos there, so made some sense. I just want to see a standard Chulainn.
Well, maybe.